We're going to try a unique and extremely fun Pass the Game challenge. Basically, a chain of game developers are going to work on one project together without any communication. My brother Liam will start making the game, then he'll pass it on to me, and so on. What can 6 developers create together without uttering a single word between each other? Let's begin with Liam.
Alright guys, so I'm going to be the first one to start a challenge. It's currently 9:40 AM and that means I've got until 1:40 PM. So yeah, I'm not really good at starting projects. I've got a hard time trying to find game ideas and to just get started. I want to test myself and we'll see what comes up. Alright, so my 4 hours aura. For once, I quite quickly got an idea of what I wanted to create. So in my head, the game that I wanted to make was a base building game where you control a spaceship and protect it against the invading enemies. So you can rotate the base left and right, you can purchase weapons and place them on your spaceship. Alright, now I'm going to pass this 4-hour prototype to Noah. Please make it look good.
Alright guys, so I'm going to actually get a first look at Liam's game here. I'm going to see what he's added, what he's done, and then I'm going to have to spend 4 hours expanding on this. I completely understand what Liam's made here. So first I was definitely confused about what was going on. I thought it was like actually you controlling a little player character. In fact, you're controlling an entire planet, you're placing objects on it to defend it against invading creatures. So I mainly added artwork to the project, as well as some post-processing. I like getting the projects to look relatively good early, since it's a lot more motivating than just staring at squares all day. I also created this turret that increases the rotation speed of your spaceship. You'll notice a bunch of cool sound effects, and these come from Production Crate, the sponsor of this video. They have a massive library of art, sounds, music, models that you can use in your own video game projects. For example, I wanted a sci-fi ambient track for our project and stumbled upon this great piece. I found explosions, pop sounds, and building noises. Be it for their sounds, beautiful animations, sprite sheet generator tool, Production Crate often plays a really helpful role while we develop our games. Link to Production Crate in the description. So I've just finished my 4 hours. Hopefully the next developer, who is Aran from Sokpop, is going to be able to figure out what the vision of the game is and hopefully expand on it or even improve.
Hey everyone, my name is Aran. I'm part of Sokpop Collective. We are a game studio in the Netherlands and we make a new game every month. I just got the project from Noah last night. I haven't checked it out yet. I really don't know what to expect. Honestly, it could be anything. Okay. Alright, let's see if it runs. It does run. Oh, it has some screen shake. Okay, so it's like a shooty thing. Wonder what this means. Oh, it's like increased rotation speed. Heals 1 HP every second. Okay, I'm about to die. So, oh, you get the place where it goes. Oh, that's interesting. Really, there's still a lot of possible things to make with this. My first thought would be maybe to make it rotate towards the mouse and then you can also move. Alright, just checking in. It's been about 2 hours of working on the game now. So I revamped the UI a little bit. I also added movement and you now aim with the mouse, which is also nice. Biggest changes I still want to do, and which I already started on a little bit, is that you can now add modules to your ship. The slots you can also add like certain items maybe. There's one big problem though still. Well, it's not a big problem. It's kind of a big problem. Is that you can sort of overlap modules now, so I want to get that fixed. Alright, I guess I'm done. I worked on the game for 4 hours. Made a little system that they don't overlap. And I also just realized I added that things get more expensive as you buy more of them. Honestly, I'm super excited to see what everyone else will add.
Now, Aran passed the game to Jonas Tyroller, a talented game developer. Very excited to see where he takes our project.
Okay, so my goal is probably just to polish what the other ones made. I was already thinking, what should I add to the game? I have no clue what awaits me. Okay, it's some sort of space shooter. There are even upgrades, what? What? The game doesn't pause when I hit tab? Or can add stuff to my spaceship. I have to say I found it very difficult to focus on the game and on the store at the same time. You have to control the spaceship with WASD and then at the same time hold tab to bring up the store. Okay, there's no game over state yet. I can just fly through them all. I did some more testing and came up with a list of things I wanted to do. Adding a game over screen felt like the obvious thing to start with. It shows your high score as well as your best high score, and I also animated it a little bit. If Finding your way through other people's code is always a bit tricky, and I'm sure the fact that 4 different people worked on it without really communicating to each other didn't make things better either. It's pretty safe to say that we produced complete spaghetti code, but who cares as long as it works. Then I did a lot of things to make the shop more usable. For once I made it a toggle so you don't have to keep your goddamn finger on the button. I also slowed down time while you're in the shop to make it less stressful. I made sure that things you can't afford turn red in the store, which wasn't the case before. I sometimes had the problem that the store buttons were covering the area where I wanted to build. So I changed the store buttons to disappear while you're placing something. Actually, somebody had already coded that before me, but it was broken, so I fixed it. I found it very annoying that the spaceship kept spinning while you were trying to place modules on it. My solution was to just lock the rotation while the store is open. I'm the master of exploits, so I found an infinite money bug in the menu that allowed you to just buy items and refund them for more and more money. Needless to say, I fixed that as well. I added a more visible level border because the lack of that irritated me a lot during my playtests. There was a module that gave you 10 gold every 5 seconds. That's kinda pointless when the normal gun gives you 10 gold every 2 seconds though, and kills an enemy. So I changed to give you 5 additional gold per kill, which makes more sense and discourages passive playstyles. And then the boosters had a similar problem because it just didn't make any sense to build them. You just didn't need them. My solution was to add a weight value to all of the expansion modules. The more of these you build, the slower your rotation and movement speed gets. That allowed me to make the boosters a lot more powerful, give you a lot of extra speed, which feels nice. Another problem with the balancing was that the level stopped getting more difficult after a while, so it was actually possible to maneuver yourself into a position where nothing could kill you anymore. So I made it that it never stops getting more difficult. I definitely balanced the game in a way where it's very, very difficult now, and the reason for that is that the game does not have a lot of content. Like, there's only one enemy type, and I think short rounds are better for this kind of game. It's more fun to try multiple times, try different strategies than one endless run that never ends. You know. Now I can already imagine people will play it and say, Jonas, you ruined the balancing, you made it, you broke it. I don't care because I like it this way, and now shut up, the game's done, bye!
Alright, now it's Code Monkey's turn. Let's go!
Hello and welcome, I'm your Code Monkey. Alright, so over here let's open up the Pass the Game project. Okay, so let's try hitting on play. So some kind of tower defense thing. It's automatic. Okay, that's interesting. Lots of really nice particle effects, and obviously the art is gorgeous. So this one is already a pretty interesting game. Really like how there's a mixture of tower defense with some survival, a bunch of things. So I came up with those various ideas, and I decided that the one I was going to tackle was making a clickable missile attack. But I also didn't want it to be just a boring missile going straight. I wanted it to have a nice satisfying arc. So I just made that using a bit of math, playing around with lerping a rotation with an increasing rotation speed. I did have some issues where the missiles would just rotate endlessly and never actually hit the target, but with some tweaking I got it working. For damaging the enemies, it's just a simple physics query and damaging all of them in range, pretty easy. Then for the visuals, I made a particle effect based on the enemy destroyed particle that was already present in the project. Just took that and made one big circle particle to showcase the AoE effect. And after that, I also used the trail renderer to make a nice smooth trail. Another thing that I also added was some screen shake. One of my notes right as I saw the project was that the camera was a bit too static, so adding some simple screen shake really helps keep the game feel much more dynamic. With that, the missiles were working. Being able to fire an infinite amount is pretty bad for balancing, so I made a simple recharge logic and a UI element. They recharge 1 ammo per 4 seconds with a maximum of 3. I think that's a pretty nice balance. And finally, I got to work on the mega missile ability. Since the missiles were fully working, this one was super easy to add. It really just fires 100 missiles towards random positions in the world. So it's pretty simple, and I think it looks pretty awesome. And the final task was just adding some limits so that it's not too overpowered. For this one, I made it based on a cooldown, so once you fire it, you just have to wait for about 20 seconds and you can fire again. And that's it, those were my additions to this project. This was fun, so I can't wait to see the final game.
And now we have a final game developer, Jan. Hopefully he doesn't mess it up since the game is so close to completion and it's really awesome for now.
Hello, I'm Jan. It's a kind of space shooter. I can move around, okay. Yeah, okay. Already super polished, man. It's like, this feels like a finished game. Okay. You've got this spaceship with a circular design. And a mega missile. Oh, okay. Wow, I'm impressed, you guys.
Jan finalized the game by adding polish, a new enemy, improved sound effects, and lots more.
Really cool project. Fascinating. I'm super stoked that we got like we together, I don't even know who the other people all are, but we together got a pretty cohesive game. Like I thought it would be so much more chaotic. It just makes sense. Like it's a nice package. Really like it. Really like it. So thank you so much. Yeah, to you, Noah, and to everyone who participated. It's a really great experience.
And that's the challenge complete. Jan suggested we call the game Piece by Piece, since as he pointed out, it represents both how we made the game one developer at a time, as well as the shipbuilding mechanic. You can play it now for free with a link in the description. Hope you enjoyed this collaboration. If there's any creators you would love to see us work with, let us know in the comments and we'll do our very best to make it happen. Remember to like if you enjoyed this, it's a massive help, and also subscribe so you don't miss any videos. We're uploading every single Sunday, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers.